What's up guys, Devon back at it again with yet another Devon Explains entry, and today I'm going to give you Godzilla 2014 versus GXK Kong, and as the title implies, this is a How Kong Could Kill Godzilla entry, which means that you already know what I think. GXK Kong can kill Godzilla 2014. Today I'll explain to you why. Extremely simply, let's get right into it. I will not waste your time. Get me to 10,000 subscribers.
Seems I've walked into a trap. I'm not really sure you understand how this works. How deep was that bucket?
So, Godzilla 2014. I'm talking about his prime, not the film one who can't use the breath, nor the comic one that's weakened. Just Godzilla's prime, that pre-KOTM era. His strength, I believe, is comparable to a Hong Kong G21. That rhymed. The reasons are simple. I don't believe Godzilla in GBK was weakened at the start of the film, and while I do believe he's stronger than G19, I don't think it's anything huge. He goes on to use his breath, travel, fight Kong in the Tasman Sea, travel some more, and then uses the Hollow Earth drill, which, being fair, didn't take that much power from him by how easily he did it. He's weakened, and given his stamina, he should be at like 80% capacity, which G14 should be at that tier, because while G19 is stronger, it's really only because he's bigger, heavier, and trained. Should not be a massive gap, but should still be pretty significant. So a 20 to maybe 30% gap in power, perfectly comfortable, and it just so happens that the G21 was at 70 to 80% of his capacity by Hong Kong. Speed should be the exact same with absolutely no difference, mainly because Godzilla's stats are defined by his energy. However, G21 is significantly more agile, flexible, and skilled than G14, and also has more stamina and can spam his breath, which G14 trades off for durability and atomic breath power, because, as I've said, G19's only bigger and heavier and more trained than G14. There's no reason for us to believe that their energy is different, and Godzilla's durability is based off his energy levels and would not be boosted by him being bigger and heavier, aside from a minimal blunt durability enhancement. So G14 is a more powerful and tougher G21 who's more stiff and less skilled, but equally as physically capable.
Yo, son, this game makes me wanna... Babe, call the cops, I'm about to hit you. Call the cops, I'm about to beat you, babe. Call the cops.
GXK Kong is living a better life than GBK Kong in a stable environment that doesn't age him faster than he should, eating good food and having room to run around like the monkey he is. And this would make him recover from that GBK life that made him weak and unfit. His growth is shown. He blocks Shimos, being equal to an ancient supercharged Godzilla, which at a minimum is a feat equal to pinning full power Ghidorah in place. Put it into other words, equal to a supercharged 2019 atomic breath. Meanwhile, GBK Kong can even make a weakened atomic breath budge. On top of this, GXK Kong only got a 2 times buff to his stats from the Beast Club, while Pink Godzilla was 4 times greater than his baseline. Their fight had the exact same stat relationship, and this means that GXK Kong objectively needs to be 2 times above GBK Kong for the 2 times buff of the Beast Club to equalize his and Pink Godzilla's total buffs. GBK Kong himself is faster than a 50% Godzilla while 50% himself, so faster than G19 and G14 at his full abilities. He also has multiple feats against Hong Kong G21 and an even more durable G21 that prove him having attack potency 30 to 40% of the G14, G19, and G21 atomic breath, based on Devon's favorite feat of Godzilla taking 3 times his atomic breath with a mere stun. GXK Kong's durability also allows him to take prolonged beatings from G21 and a portion of the Axe Pulse. GXK Kong is 2 times all of this except the piercing stuff, and his lifting strength comparable to a supercharged atomic breath. The power to pin full power Ghidorah in place.
Is that a spirit bomb? It might be good though. Reply me!
So, overall, we have a G14 who is essentially GBK Godzilla with more durability and atomic breath power, and GXK Kong who is just a better GBK Kong in every way. Is this enough for Kong to kill Godzilla? For any of you who think that the scaling that I provided so far makes G14 win, I don't think G14 has any way of defeating GXK Kong that wouldn't be extremely tough and hard. Do I think it's maybe possible? Sure, it is possible, but you gotta realize that G14 is twice as slow, twice as physically weak, with less skill and agility than the Godzilla who is less skilled and agile than GXK Kong. All of this being inferior to GXK Kong himself. The same thing goes for GXK Kong. G14 is extremely durable, and even with his attack potency skirting the power of the atomic breath, his ripping power surpassing that, it's going to take Kong a long time to be able to kill G14, taking his insane durability into account. It's just as likely that G14 lands a breath or a full tail whip, both of which would massively injure GXK Kong with fight-ending effects. So why, if the fight is so hard for both, why do I think that this is an instance of how Kong could kill Godzilla? What makes the difference? It's stamina. G14, while unable to use his atomic breath, which drains great amounts of energy, could only last 1 hour of intense fighting against the Mutos. Granted, he did take a bunch of damage from them. GXK Kong, meanwhile, could fight and desperately dodge for an entire night, at least 9 to 10 hours, and only lose like 30% of his stamina, taking into account that he was already weakened from the prior events of GBK, and the fact that he was at 50% at the start of the Mechagodzilla fight, which was only a few minutes after Godzilla beat the brakes off him. Mind you, GXK Kong has not had a proper workout in years. GXK Kong is massively more fit and would have massively more stamina, maybe being able to go full throttle for an entire day without losing all of his stamina and still being able to fight. Why does this matter? Remember how I said Godzilla's durability scales with his stamina? Yeah, G14 has absolutely trash stamina when faced with intense fights, and thus will have a short time frame in which he has his full durability. For example, he will be at 20% durability by the time that GXK Kong is at 90% of his stamina, and therefore at 90% of his muscles strength. The gap in their fitness is just that high. And GXK Kong has the tools to last that long. He is stronger, he is faster, he has fought a better Godzilla, and he knows that better Godzilla style. He will fight Godzilla, unknowingly wear him down, until Godzilla 2014 is fragile enough that... And this, my friends, is how a baseline Kong can defeat a baseline Godzilla. And this would be an extremely difficult battle that would have Kong coming out injured and pretty tired. G14 was indeed pretty injured from that hour of fighting, and thus would have a few more hours of stamina against a guy who can't really do the same amount of damage due to lacking piercing, but the point still stands. GXK Kong has a lot more stamina, and thus would be able to outlast G14's window of full durability, and thus would be able to kill him. This will probably be the last entry of how Kong could kill Godzilla until something new pops up. Regardless, this was Devon. G'day.
That was pathetic. All of you. Oh, none of you deserve me. Not even you?
You look beautiful.
That makes one of us.
Savage.